Welcome back in, Bears fans. It's time for another Bears Latest. It is Friday, April the 25th. Round one of the draft is done and in the books, and we're gearing up for rounds 2 and 3 tonight. Let's jump right in. Welcome to the Bears, Colston Loveland. Bears took Loveland at number 10 last night in a very interesting opening to the draft, which we'll get into some of those details here in just a bit. But I have to say, I love the pick. I absolutely love it. And the reason why is I love a guy that not only can can block, which obviously Loveland proved that this year and then some, since the Michigan offense was not really happy at all. It was very, very run dependent. But he's a good blocker. He runs good routes. He's elusive. He will do anything that you ask him to do. And a lot of people that I've been reading about today, the way they've comped him is Baltimore legend Todd Heap. When he played about 20 years ago in the Brian Billick offense, he has that same makeup and same build. Obviously, Todd was a Pro Bowler and an outstanding end for the Ravens then. But the one comp that everybody is just completely gushing over right now is that he's being compared to none other than Sam Laporta. And not only have the NFL scouts and the writers and prognosticators have made that comparison, but Colston Loveland has compared his game to Sam Laporta's game, and the one that this was like the stamp of approval right here. Ben Johnson straight up told him, "You remind me a lot of Sam Laporta, and I know how to use you if we draft you." And guess what? You're here. And we're going to be seeing a lot of 12 personnel, coming into the first season of the Ben Johnson regime. I think it's going to be a great way to get Caleb established, getting him some more weapons. You've already fortified the line. You're going to continue to build upon that. You've got a tight end that's a good blocker and is also going to be able to get out and in the open. And it's going to open up Cole Kmet, which I think you're going to definitely see an uptick in his numbers this season. But I think a lot of people were turned off at the fact that Loveland didn't really display a lot of the same, well, statistics, say, Warren and Harold Fannin, some of those other tight ends out there, they had better numbers this season. But if you looked at Michigan's offense, they were absolutely anemic. I mean, they had to rely on the run game more. Um, but when he was out in the open, he delivered. But he also, he put his body on the line and opened up holes and everything. And I think that that's going to be very, very useful for the Bears. We've got a really great weapon to work with, and I am excited to see what Ben and Declan Doyle scheme up here with both him and Komet. And it's just I think is going to open up the play action. I think you're going to see a lot of great opportunities here by having a guy as athletic as Colston Loveland out there on the field. And the best part is he's 21. He's super young. He's another young weapon on this already talented Bears offense. And it's just the sky is the limit here. So great pick, love it. I know a lot of people complain because we didn't get a lineman that we wanted. We didn't go trade up and get Ashton Genty and stuff like that. Whatever. It's a great pick. I'm satisfied. And with that, we can just kind of talk briefly, and I mean briefly because there's a lot to unpack from the draft, and over the next several videos in the coming days, I'd like to do some deep dive in there. But I can't give all of my reactions because I haven't been able to exactly process everything through. But here is my initial thoughts on the draft. Uh, the Bears were rumored to move up. They were trying to move up to right around that number 5, where Jacksonville was at. Um, But then Cleveland and Jacksonville, they struck a trade early on. And Jacksonville traded all the way up to 2 to get Travis Hunter, which the return on that for a team that is in a rebuild like Jacksonville to give up precious draft capital, especially when your GM is in his first year there. You've got a first-year head coach in Liam Cohen there. Like I was very surprised that they just didn't stand pat and take a Mason Graham there, or even take one of the linemen if you were looking to build up your offensive line. But they went out there and got cute, went all the way up there, got Travis Hunter, which I mean he's going to be a hell of a player. Don't get me wrong. Um, but was it worth it in terms of capital? And I think that's one of the reasons why the Bears didn't make a trade last night. I cannot believe how many of our beloved fans were super upset that we didn't go trade up to get Ashton Genty. Yes, I wanted Ashton Genty on our roster as well. But do I want to give up second round picks? Do I want to give up our third? Do I want to give up future draft capital? Not really. Not really. I think this year was a great example of best player available, and the Bears were very wise there. They have 2 picks in the second round. They've got a third rounder tonight, so they've got 3 picks to work with. And as some folks have said, they could walk away from the draft tonight and could safely say that they have at least 3 or 4 solid day one starters, most likely 4 starters. And if not, you're going to have some damn good depth there. And to just to throw that into the pot, to trade up and to lose extra depth and lose part of your future, I think Poles and company were absolutely wise for standing pat right there. Um, and I was very surprised at first that it was Colston Loveland. But once I went back and relearned and didn't really do a deep dive on his 2024 numbers as much as I did with those 2023 national champion season records and stats, that's the kind of player we're going to get. And remember, it's Ben Johnson. He is he is going to put Colston Loveland and the other members of this offense in a great position to succeed and thrive and playing at a high level. It's going to happen. So, first round, there were some interesting trades. I thought Atlanta trading back up into the first round to get James Pierce. I don't know if that was worth it, but they got their guy there, so that's great. But from a Bears perspective, I think they had a great first round last night. Part of me was wondering if they were going to go into round 2, or not going to round 2. Excuse me. I was wondering if they were going to trade back into round 1, but I think they knew that they're the players that they really like, they've scouted, they've followed, and thought would be good fits are still there tonight. So the point of trading up probably didn't make any sense. So it'll be interesting to see what they do tonight. Speaking of which, why don't we go ahead and get right into that? So, what are they going to do tonight? Well, they need to get to the trenches, plain and simple. We need to see them walk away tonight with at least a running back. We definitely need to see a running back, and we need to see a lineman, whether it's on the defensive side or on the offensive side. We need to see at least one, or maybe we'll get one of each. I know that a lot of people are talking about safety because Kevin Byard is on the last year of his contract, and Brisker is also going to be a free agent after this year. And plus, with his health concerns and everything, it'll be interesting to see what they do there. Um, and because there's so many really good players still on the board, there's some really good edge rushers this round. I think second round, you're definitely going to see a D lineman get drafted by the Bears. You definitely should see one. I could see them waiting until the third round to address the running back room because there are so many talented backs that can fit the mold of what Ben is looking for. So I can see them holding off on that until the third round. I could also see a trade down. This is a perfect time, perfect year to trade down, gain some more capital that you can use to draft more players or to use to leverage to get into other rounds to snag players that you covet. So I think if anything, you're going to either see them stand pat and they're going to address the major needs and get the best player at that position available, or you're going to see some trading down because they can still work the board to their favor while gaining more draft capital. So it should be interesting tonight. It's a good night to be a Bears fan. 3 picks in these 2 rounds. Let's see what they can do. Want to wrap up today talking about the draft and everything. It dawned on me last night. 50 years ago, even though I wasn't alive then, um, Walter Payton, Sweetness from Jackson State, drafted at number 4 to the Chicago Bears. And that's when the Bears were introduced to the legend known as Sweetness. What a creative, hard-nosed, athletic back. I mean, the dude put his body on the line. He pretty much, carried the Bears in the late 70s. They were pretty much like what we had been accustomed to in like the last, 3, 4 years with our Bears. Bottom of the barrel and, just a very mediocre team, but he was the all-star on that team. He was the pro, and he did some incredible things. His he would never back down. He would never try to run out of bounds to save himself. He would put his body on the line. He would stiff arm. He would fight for every single yard. And it would just that was he set the tone for what was coming to Chicago. And the only thing I think that is disappointing is that in the Super Bowl, he did not. He did not get a carry for a touchdown in that game. He pretty much served as a decoy that entire game because New England had basically came out and said that they were going to stop the run. They were going to neutralize Walter, which then opened up the passing game in a big, big way. But probably when Ditka sent out uh, Refrigerator Perry to the goal line to get the rushing touchdown, I think I think there's a lot of regret there that should have been Walter going in for that touchdown there at the 1 or 2, whatever, right there near the goal line. Um, I would say that was the only blemish right there, the only downside. But Walter had a fantastic career. He was the number one rusher career-wise for the longest time until Emmitt Smith surpassed him. Um, just a stud running back, a great all-around guy, good team leader, and also a very funny guy too. Had a great sense of humor. So, um, love that. Happy 50th draft anniversary there to Sweetness. And before we go, say rest in peace, Mongo. Shortly after we did our video a couple days ago, within an hour or two after that, Mongo passed away. And it was just really bittersweet. He had fought courageously um, through his ALS, and his teammates were right there, standing by his side along with his family. And Jared Payton, Walter Payton's son, was very close friends with Mongo, and got to see him, in his final hours. And that's just there's a really good relationship. It's football's a lot bigger than just X's and O's on the field. It's the relationships. It's the camaraderie and everything. There's much more to it than just gaining yards on the ground. So rest in peace, Mongo, and Sweetness. You now got another teammate up there in heaven, so show him the heavenly ropes, and we'll see you again someday. Bears fans, that's a wrap for today. Tonight, rounds 2 and 3, tune in, and tomorrow I'll get you my reaction on our picks that we end up with, and where we see our team continuing to trend. So leave a comment, like this video, and just keep supporting, getting really good Bears content out there to our Bears Nation. That's a wrap. We'll see you next time. Bear down.